booked the window seat, obviously. I'm back at the Jaz Hand Made warehouse. What is the best and worst thing about your job / social media presence?
Good morning, happy Friday, and welcome to a day in the life. If you haven't, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, like this video, and leave me a comment. I will reply to you. I am currently getting ready for the airport. We have no time to waste, so we're gonna keep getting ready. I'm in the middle of filming a TikTok as well. On my travel days, I try to do something like this just because I don't get a chance to film other content during the day. I'm running okay for time, just curling my lashes. I always get hate when I do this on TikTok. Look at little Franklin. Single ear flip and half asleep. I'm sorry, I'll turn the light off. I'm dressed. T-shirt, jeans, runners, makeup. I do have jewelry on because obviously we're going for the jewelry. We're gonna say goodbye to little Frank and go make a coffee and then get out of here. Goodbye, Franklin. I'll see you tomorrow. I love you. He's like, get this camera out of my face. I've just finished my coffee. Can you hear Jim snoring? I'm dropping my bag. It's gone. And I'm ready to go. Let's head off. My Uber driver drove so strangely to the airport. Like, I come here so often, I know what way to go. Anyway, I'm here and I am half an hour from boarding, so love this for us. We're about to go through security. The guy at security's like, how's Franklin? I was like, hey, bless. I was like, I already miss him. Anyway, my bag got zapped in and I'm like, I literally had this bag here yesterday. There's nothing different between this today and this yesterday. The only thing open right now is McDonald's and I'm not hungry yet because it's literally 5 a.m. guys. So I think I'll just wait till I get to the GC. Jaz texted me last night. She's like, what bagel do you want? So we're gonna have bagels for brekkie and I might do a bit of work when I get to the gate. I'm actually wide awake, surprisingly. I went to bed at like 11 last night and I woke up at 3, so not bad. I've just been replying to YouTube comments and I've got my next TikTok video ready. So this is the morning vlog from today. I've already edited it. I did film it in the app and edit it in the app because I don't want to post it as a reel, and I will just save that as a draft. And then this is the vlog from yesterday that's also ready, and I will post that when I land because right now it's 5:30 and none of my followers are awake. Anyway, this has a voiceover and everything ready to go. I just have to do the caption. Oh my goodness. So Rose from Virgin, she just checked me and she's like, I'm a big fan and I blocked the seat next to you so you have a spare seat.
You chose Ireland.
Rose, I love you. I don't know if you watch my YouTube or my TikTok or whatever, but I love you. Thank you for doing that. I booked the window seat, obviously, and I'm going to try and sleep if I'm honest. I'm not going to do any more editing or work on here. And so, yeah, I will see you guys when we're up in the air. We just landed. So sunny here. I'm back at the Jaz Hand Made warehouse. I missed you guys. And look, we got bagels again.
Obviously.
Orders are ready to go. We just packed them all up. It is midday. We still have quite a few to get through, but I've just changed my jewelry. So I've got the fake earrings on now and I put on the new Matty necklace. Look how cute that is. I'm obsessed. I've also got
this cuff on too. A little snacks. That popcorn is so good.
I know. I put some pieces aside for you.
Oh my god, I love you. Look how cute that is, guys. The little chili in the eye. Oh my god, all coming to Europe. Thank you, Jaz.
It's alright.
You're the best. Guys, I'm waiting for my Uber. I will get into the questions, I promise, at some point today. Maybe when we check into the hotel. I'm checked in. I'm staying at Pepper's and they spoiled me. They gave me a nice bottle of water. She wanted to give me wine. I'm like, girl, I'm not going to be drinking wine. Like I rarely drink anyway. Not the time. I'm also really tired. I'd probably be pissed if I had a glass of wine. And then she gave me some chockies, like this little container. Let me show you. It's very sweet. And I'll give you a quick tour of the apartment before we answer some questions, before I have a nap. Cute. I already ate one. Let's trial this one. Interesting. Really good though. Okay, let me show you the apartment. It's definitely a serviced apartment, but I jumped on the bed already. The balcony is beautiful. I love the Gold Coast. Look at this, the water just there. So happy with this. Sun is shining. Bathroom situation. Everyone loves a see-through bathroom. Like, I don't understand. What's in here? Oh, a vacuum. Not bad. I did book this accommodation super last minute, so I didn't have a lot of time, but that's okay. I'm still happy, and I didn't have a lot of choices, but yeah, let's get into the questions. We're doing it here, guys, a little Q&A, if you will. I really wanted to answer some of these questions today. However, I was so caught up in packing. It's a very mindful thing because you're so focused on not getting the order wrong that it's hard to actually chat and do other things at the same time. So what I planned for this video didn't happen, but I'm still going to give you a good video because it is a day in the life, and obviously today is not my usual day, but it is a busy one, and I thought it would be cool to showcase that for you. And I'm going to answer some questions, and then when I'm back from dinner, maybe doing skincare and stuff, I can answer some more there too. But what I will say is that obviously it's not a traditional 9 to 5, and my day looks different every single day. This was a fun one. That's why I wanted to do this video. And the questions you've asked, some of them are related to that, but some of them are random, and I'm still going to answer them anyway, okay? Starting with the first question, which is, what would be your tip to someone who would like to get started in social media? And this was the most asked question. By the way, I'm eating the salted caramel chocolate. It's really good. I ate the other one. I like this one more than the raspberry. My tip for someone to get started is just get started. It is so easy to talk yourself out of it. It is so easy to tell yourself that, like, people are going to make fun of you. People are going to care. People are going to say mean things. But the reality of it is yes, that's a small portion of it. And some people are going to be nasty. Some people are going to be assholes. But if it's something that you really want to do and you're passionate about, don't hold yourself back. Don't be the one to hold you back from, like, chasing the life that you want or chasing the things that you want. And I think about how I started. I literally fell into it. And I love it so much. I'm super grateful for it. There's some other questions related to this when we'll get to them. But yeah, it's like if I stopped and I didn't do what I wanted to do because I was so worried about what everyone thought, I would never do any of the things that I've done in my life. Life is too short for that. You have to do what you want to do. Just get started and then be consistent. Consistency trumps everything. But yeah, you just have to start. You have to put yourself out there. How will people find you if you're not putting the content out there? And it's not too late to start, by the way. You could go make a TikTok video later or right after you finish watching this, okay? And then this kind of ties into the next question, which is how did you become an influencer? And I am softening to the term influencer. I still prefer content creator. I know it's very naive of me to sit here and say that I don't have influence over people. I know I do. I'm very careful with what I put out into the world. I'm careful with the content I create. I know I have young people following me, especially young girls, and I want to lead by a good example, and so I'm hyper aware of that. But how I got into it was kind of twofold. A lot of you might recognize me or have known my journey from TikTok, where I was in the heartbreak, healing, sad girl era. But before that, I did have a following on Instagram, and it was through like fashion blogging and outfits of the day. And I'd spoken about that a little bit in I think my first podcast episode, maybe even like some old career videos. But
yeah, I stopped pursuing Instagram back in my early 20s because I didn't really know what path I wanted to take or what content I wanted to make. And I pursued a corporate career instead. And yeah, it's just fascinating seeing how the social media landscape has changed, but also seeing that I was able to firstly build a following on Instagram back in the day, and Tumblr. Some of you might even have followed me on Tumblr. But I had Tumblr, I had Instagram, I even had a YouTube channel back then. And I literally deleted everything except for my Instagram when I started to pursue full-time corporate world. But it's been a journey. I definitely owe like my recent pathway to TikTok. TikTok changed my life in the sense that without TikTok, would I have had the courage to start YouTube again? There's a piece of sticky tape also stuck on my nail from packing today. And so yeah, I owe everything probably to TikTok, because I wouldn't have started the podcast and I wouldn't have started my YouTube channel without that. And it's just, yeah, organically kind of happened, and I'm so grateful for it. I tell you guys every day how grateful I am, and it is definitely a blessing. There's definitely some downsides to it, but we'll get to that in another question as well. So yeah, I'm gonna say, how did I become one? At the start, Tumblr, Instagram, now TikTok. But now that I have multiple channels, I think once you kind of do start to build up your own community and you start to make sure you're across lots of platforms, like it is probably a little bit easier to grow and like continue to like welcome new people in and yeah, get your content across new eyes. This was sweet, not a question, but I just wanted to say you're amazing and you inspire me so much. I love you, and I love you too. And I just really wanted to put that in there just to say that I'm grateful for all of the kind messages. You guys have rallied around me the last like few weeks, and I've needed it, and it's been a bit of a ringer, but we're gonna be okay. It's gonna be alright, and I love you guys too, so thank you. This question I had to put in because today I was out all day, I caught a plane, and my makeup is still okay, but it is, how do you find the Hourglass translucent powder compared to your previous one? And I cannot fault it, honestly. 10 out of 10. This makeup has not been touched up. I touched up my face yesterday a little bit, but I haven't touched it up today. The lighting is a bit bad in here. Maybe I have to move, but you can see like the makeup is still on. As for texture, how it applies, how it stays, I like it so much better than Laura Mercier. The Laura Mercier one was a little bit drying. It would seep into my skin and you could see like my under eye area, you could see like the lines in my forehead. You could just see my skin texture a little bit more. The Hourglass one just kind of sets it and does it in such a flawless way. I can't fault it. I have been getting lots of compliments on my makeup recently, and so I will do an updated makeup video as well because I know you guys are curious about that. This question was highly requested as well. I want to do my own podcast and I don't know where to start. And my biggest tip here, again, is to just start, but have a plan. Know how many episodes you want to do. Know what vision you want to have for it. Know what you're going to talk about. Know what it's going to be called. Like, have a plan before you go into it. Podcasting is very different to other forms of social media. And when I look at my podcast amongst like all my other platforms, it's definitely the one that is the most amount of work in terms of like planning, preparing, editing, physically going to the studio, physically recording. It is like high demand, but it's also the most rewarding at the same time. So the payoff is there. And yeah, I think having a plan has been the one thing that has helped me. And that's what I would say to anybody interested in starting. Have a plan, know what you want to do. You can't, well, I mean, you can go in blind, like there's nothing wrong with doing that as well. But having a plan just means that you'll be able to build out a bit of a pathway for yourself. And again, the hardest thing is just doing the first episode. Truth be told, I have not gone back to listen to the first episode of Your Safe Space. I'm terrified. I feel like I would cringe, but we have to start somewhere, right? I wasn't a perfect podcaster at the start. I used to make a lot of mistakes. I used to mumble my words. I used to talk maybe not as clearly and eloquently as I do now. And so even seeing my own progress in the number of recordings I've done, like I've recorded nearly 90 episodes of that podcast. If you look at episode 1 to episode 90, I've come a long way. And that progress is not just possible because it's me. Like that progress is just consistency. It's coming in, doing the same thing again, having a plan. And so that would be my overarching advice if you're wanting to start a podcast. I think I'm going to do 2 more questions and then we're going to chill for a little bit and then get ready for dinner and we can come back and wrap the rest of this show. I didn't say show. We can wrap the rest of this video. I am running on fumes at the moment, guys. It's been a long day, but thank you for hanging out with me. Who is the best manager in the world and why? And my manager Em wrote that and she is the best manager in the world. So for some context, anyone wondering
doesn't know what a manager does, some people in the social media landscape are managed by a talent agent or a talent manager. Em works for Amplify. I've been with Amplify since May last year, and they look after all of the back end stuff for me. So they negotiate brand deals. They also have direct connections to Meta, to TikTok, to who else? Yeah, anyway, Amplify have been amazing. Em has been amazing. We click really well. I adore her, and I couldn't do it without her. Like you guys would know, we have a fortnightly whip, which is like a work in progress, and at that meeting we discuss everything, how everything's going. They're not just interested in short term, like they are genuinely interested in long term and like building out future strategies and seeing how I can diversify my platform, seeing how I can keep growing. And so yeah, I'm very grateful for that support, and I'm very grateful to be with Amplify, because when I looked at talent managers and I was being approached by a few at the same time, they just stood out to me because they really knew TikTok, and they really just seemed genuinely interested in more than just like brand deals, right? And I think that was appealing to me because yeah, I want it to be more than that. I want it to be a community. I want to actually have something deep and meaningful and lasting with longevity. Your trust means so much to me. I would never jeopardize that. And so I have that trust with Amplify too, and with Em, and yeah, I'm just grateful for her. But I'm going to wrap it up here very quickly, and then I'm going to just take a breather, get into some better light. You should see the way I've got this, by the way. This is how I've been filming this video. Behind the scenes. On my laptop, on my suitcase, on this thing. What? All right, I had a little nap. Honestly, it was like a 12-minute nap. I set a quick timer, and I'm coming back to life. I also think I left my ring light at Jaz's, which makes me sad because look at how bad the lighting is here. Anyway, Steph and her partner are, I think, gonna take us to dinner. Or take me and you. I always say we, I always say us, and I sometimes get trolled for it on the internet because people are like, who are you with? I'm like, I'm literally talking about you guys. Anyway, I am going out to Mexican, and I'm just now touching up the powder because I feel like after sleeping, your girl needs it. Maybe we can do some questions actually. Hang on, let me get where's my phone? All right, next question is actually about the launch, the jewelry. Will there be another launch of the jewelry collection with Jaz? I absolutely loved the last one. And we had this question so much on the live today, but as it stands, no, we are not in discussion to do another collection anytime soon. We worked on this one for nearly a whole year, and I've obviously got other things going on like the journal, and obviously season 2 of Your Safe Space, and Europe, and the reno, and all that stuff. And so like Jaz hasn't asked me, and I haven't asked her, because we've just done this one and I really wanted to just sell out this one. We've almost sold out the collection, so that is success for me, and obviously for her. We still have some of the other pieces still on there. We've still got some power hoops, some tennis necklaces and bracelets, and some romance ear cuffs. And yeah, I want all of that sold out before anything. The other thing I'll also add is that I'm so open to working with her again, and I even said that to her today, like down the track we could absolutely do another one, because she gave me like full creative control and I got to really do what I wanted, which I loved. Nothing in the pipeline right now with Jaz. I will still continue to work with her. So like, obviously she's going to do other collections, and that was her first ever collection with another creator. So I hope she had a good time, and if she said if I would want to do it again, maybe in like a year's time or something, I would say yes, because I fucking love Jaz. So yeah, that's that answer. And favorite brands you have done things for. And my favorite brands would have to be the ones that firstly aren't transactional. I can guarantee you with all the brands I work with, like I'm either using the product, or I've trialed it, or I love it, or I can back it like hand on heart. And so I'm really grateful to all the brands I've worked with. The ones that stand out are Jaz Hand Made, Elite 11, especially Elite 11 with their EOFI end of financial year photo shoot, which they let my community be in the photo shoot with me. That was huge. Other ones that stand out that have been on my vision board are McDonald's, which you guys saw that. I did the one for their coffee. I also, I don't know if I can say it yet because I don't know if it's live, but I've got a campaign coming up with a brand that I love and use every day. And so when something like that happens, or a brand approaches me that it's already a part of my routine and already a part of my life, I'm like, oh my God, this is so aligned. This makes me feel so happy. But yeah, I just get so many cool opportunities. And even yesterday, going to Sydney with La Roche Posay, and other deals or other brand trips I've done, like going to South Australia was amazing. Oh, there's just so many, and I'm so grateful. So it's hard for me to just pick one, but I guess the standouts would be those that I have like really nice longevity, true partnerships with, and not just like, oh, here's some money, go make an ad type of thing. Like ones that really genuinely care for my community and care for me, and also trust me with the content. There is nothing worse than signing with a brand or going to do a brand deal and then them not wanting to like just trust you and know what works for your content and know what works organically. And so I also really love when the brand gives me that freedom too. Last question before we head to dinner. Do you ever miss the corporate world? And I'm gonna say yes, in the sense that I would never get treated the way I do in corporate, the way I do online. And I know that the bad is like a small percentage of what I experience, but I could go to work at my 9 to 5, be treated with respect, do a good job, go home feeling fulfilled. On a daily basis, I get hate comments, I get death threats, I get really nasty comments and messages, and I filter all of my stuff now, and I have good boundaries with that, but that's not something I ever would have had to experience in my 9 to 5. I also have a very thick skin and I am used to it, but definitely being a little bit more sensitive as of late it's probably gotten to me more than I would have liked it to. And I guess I'm human. We're human. Like, I think maybe sometimes people forget, like, oh, she's a real person. Like, she might read this and it might really impact her, but it is part of it. As I said, it's a small percentage, so the good outweighs the bad. But yeah, that's the only time I think if I was in corporate, I wouldn't have to deal with something like this. But corporate also has its own negatives and drawback as well, where now I have all this other amazing stuff. Like, I get to work for myself, I get to have freedom, I get to do what I want, I get to dress how I want. I don't have to have a structure where I'm following meetings or someone else's routine or timeline. So the good definitely outweighs the bad, but yeah, I would be lying if I said I didn't miss it. All right, I think I need lip gloss. Oh my God, I'm just bashing the camera everywhere. Forgive me. I hope you guys are okay. And I think once I eat, I'll be good, because all I've had today really was that bagel at breakfast and then some of the Tim Tams and the pods, because I wasn't hungry at all, but I've gotten hungry now. So I'm excited to see Steph and excited to go to Mexican. I'm not giving good vlog energy tonight. Nearly. Look who I'm with.
Hey!
Where are we? What are we doing?
We're at Bonita and we're gonna have some nachos and Mexican food.
Yes, I'm so excited. I'm so happy to see you. I missed you.
It's been so long.
I know, the last Gold Coast trip.
The last one.
So I'm going to look at the menu, and then I'm also going to look online so I can see what everything looks like, because I need to see it. I'm a visual person. Oh my God, look at you. Dinner was so lovely. I am a tiny bit hungry, so I went past 7-Eleven. Got this. I'm a creature of habit. And I also got a water bottle. Anyway, I'm gonna eat this. We're gonna answer the last few questions. I don't have my ring light, so we're gonna have to deal with this light. Is it bad? I don't know. Oh my God, these smell so good. I'm fully delusional now. But we have a few questions to get through. The next one. Would Adele in the beginning ever have believed where she has gotten to today? No. I think that's why I'm so grateful, because there have been moments in my life where things were so dark, or I never thought that they would change, or I never thought that they would get better. And that's why I'm always like, never lose hope, never give up. You never know what's around the corner. You never know how you can change your pathway. Anything is possible, but it can also be really hard to remember that when you're in the thick of it. But the clouds always pass. Obviously, I'm so incredibly grateful, and I understand the privilege that comes with doing what I do for work. So there's not a day I'll ever take it for granted, and I think I'll always remain grounded and humble and true to myself, because yeah, I just don't think that it's worth like losing that, and I never will. So yeah, I don't believe it, but I'm so grateful, and I'll stay grateful.
Salt and vinegar is the best flavour. I don't care about the other flavours. There are a few questions like this, and this person asked it the nicest, so I want to answer it. Some of the other ones were like, no hate, but if you have to write no hate, maybe rewrite your message. Anyway, do you think the social media world will continue to grow, or will there be a decline in the future? I answered this as a millennial because I'm 30, but I have seen Instagram come, I've seen TikTok come, I have seen Be Real, I have seen Threads, I have seen Snapchat, I have seen the change in social media. I think social media and the landscape is going to continue to change. I also feel like we have seen a pivot in the sense that like people want more authentic and relatable people and things to follow. And I even advocate for that. If someone is putting out dangerous content that is damaging to you, unfollow them. You have to curate your feed for your own mental health. But I think that shift has probably happened as a result of like COVID and lockdown. And I think COVID and lockdown also changed the way the social media world will be forever, because the internet and social media is what kept us connected and kept us okay. And so I have seen social media just evolve and technology evolve. So for me, when I think, do I think it will grow or there will be a decline? I think it will grow. Imagine a world without social media. I can't. It's only ever gotten better, and it's only ever gotten more. It's only ever grown. So I don't think it will decline. Obviously, I don't know what that looks like for me. I don't think any of us can sit here and say, this is exactly how my life is going to look in 5 years. Because if I was working corporate, who's to say that I could not be made redundant next year? Do you know what I mean? Like, I think the future is so certain, but uncertain all at once. And I don't want to speculate too much on it, but I don't think it will decline. If it does, I'll find another job. What is the best and worst thing about your job/social media presence? By far the best thing is the community, the opportunity, and the lifestyle. All three I'm so grateful for. You guys, I fucking love you guys. I'm so grateful. The opportunities, I always say that I wouldn't have it without you. I'm so hyper aware that what I have doesn't exist without you. I'm starting to lose my voice. That's how we know I'm tired. Worst thing about it is the unrealistic expectations placed on you when you do put your life online. I think people hold you to this unrealistic standard that they're waiting for you to fail. They're waiting for you to fuck up so they can tear you down. And maybe that's a bit of like tall poppy syndrome here in Australia, or maybe it's just the thing with social media. But even with everything I've gone through recently, I think people have forgotten that I'm just human, that I'm just a girl trying to figure it out. And I think to myself, like, how would the average person react to this, let alone reacting to it in front of over, 300,000 people or 400,000 people or 500,000 people. Do you know what I mean? So it's definitely the downside, and along with that comes things like hate comments, comes things like trolling, comes things like having every single action ridiculed or judged. And I get it, I'm sharing my life, so it's part and parcel, but I definitely think it's a downside because there are jobs that obviously don't entail that. And when I look at both of them, I'm like, the good definitely outweighs the bad, but I have to acknowledge them both. The good still outweighs the bad. Wow, I'm on my final straws, guys. Okay, we have a few more. We can do it. Maybe I should do my skincare. Maybe I should eat these and then do my skincare and we can do the rest. That's a good idea.
I'm showered. I didn't pack any of my Dennis Gross wipes or my face mask because my skin is so dry, but we're going to do skincare now. I apologize for the angle in which I'm going to finish this video on because it's this angle. I don't know if that's a vibe or not. Anyway, I'm feeling better. The shower pressure here, beautiful, strong, hot. I loved it. And while I'm in the shower, I'm thinking, I have so much work to do, but I think I need to go to bed because your girl is tired. She is. I'm just using my minis from Drunk Elephant, and I have more questions to get into. This question made me think because I was like, oh my god, that's exactly what it is. Do you ever have days where you don't want to share but feel like you owe it to your fans? Or is it just like that feeling of going to work when you don't want to? And yeah, I'm gonna say, I definitely don't feel like I owe anyone anything. I obviously love sharing my life with you guys, but I never have that feeling of like, oh, I have to vlog this. Can you hear people revving their cars? If I don't want to vlog, I don't vlog. Like sometimes I start my vlog later in the day. Sometimes I don't film the clips. There's lots of stuff that I don't share if I don't feel like I have to. Obviously, I share enough and I'm comfortable with what I share. I only share what I'm comfortable with. I, of course, have days where I don't feel like doing something, and I'm very careful, especially about brand stuff, because I never want to film brand stuff if I'm like in a foul mood or not feeling it. Like, you can see the vlogs where I'm struggling or having like low mental health or bad vibes, and thankfully I haven't ever had any campaigns due around that time. It's always kind of matched up nicely. And so yeah, I definitely experienced that. Even though I love my job and I'm so grateful and it's the best job ever, I wouldn't, like, I still experience human things. Like, I'm sure there are people out there who adore their jobs and at the same time have days where they don't want to do it. They are over it. Like, both things can be true. It's not just one or the other. I'm not sitting here saying my job is the hardest one by no stretch of the means. I'm not saying that. I know that there are harder jobs out there in different ways. And so yeah, I definitely experience not wanting to do my job, of course. Who pays for your flights and accommodation? Good question. Depends. Yesterday, La Roche-Posay paid for my flights, and they also organised a driver from Sydney Airport to the event, and then also from the event to Sydney Airport. And then today I paid for my own flights. Jaz offered, but I was just like, I'm gonna pay for it. Like, I offered to come up here. She didn't even ask me. I just said, can I come and pack orders? She's like, yeah. And so I paid for that, and I'm also paying for my accommodation right now. And if I was being paid, I would hashtag ad. But yeah, if I pay for it, I don't hashtag anything. If it's like a PR thing, I hashtag PR. I'm trying to be very clear when it comes to that stuff. But yeah, most of the time, I actually think I pay, now that I think about it. So yeah, it depends to that question. And then this question is about my eyebrows. What do you ask when getting your eyebrows done? Your eyebrows are literally goals and they're so hairy right now. Can you see this? So hairy. But I just ask her to tidy them up. I tell her to keep my shape because I love the shape of them, and keep the thickness. I just say, all the hairs around, can we just clean that up a little bit? Tidy the shape. And she waxes them and I love it. I used to get them threaded, and the girl threaded off half my eyebrow. This was many years ago. That was before COVID, and then in COVID I tweezed my own brows. That's also a cheap way to do it if you want to do it that way. But yeah, now I just get them waxed at Shapey. It's the SHAEP store. I have an appointment there next week, which was meant to be yesterday, but I had to cancel it. And then I'm going to end on the last one before telling you guys what I have to do that I didn't get done today. But it is, are there any companies or brands you would love to collab with or work with in the future? And of course, like, there are brands out there who I love and use who I haven't worked with. Throwing big names out there, think like Apple. Like, I would love to do something for Apple. I would love to do something for Sony. I use a Sony camera. There are so many things out there that I would love to do or promote or work with, but at the same time, I'm also like, what will come to me is meant to be, and I really just trust in that. And so what I usually do is on my vision board, any companies that like I'm manifesting to work with or that I really want to work with, I put them on my vision board, and sure enough, they come to me and they come through, and it's really fascinating seeing stuff happen that like I could only dream of happening. So yeah, there's lots of brands I want to work with, and I truly think that there's enough abundance out there in the world for whoever in any industry to get what you want. And yeah, I believe it's coming. But I am going to wrap up the video now. I am not finishing work for the day though, because I have my laptop with me. I'm going to watch the vlog. I'm going to start watching it because I do get home tomorrow night and I don't want to save it all for then. I might do half tonight, half tomorrow night. I need to edit the TikTok vlog. That will go up tomorrow morning, do a voiceover tonight. For everyone playing along, the time is 10 o'clock. Sam will put timestamps all over this anyway. What else I've got to do that I haven't already? I need to edit the clips to promote the podcast. I haven't posted anything about the podcast today. I didn't post in the Your Safe Space group. I didn't post on the Your Safe Space stories. That's stuff that I just didn't have a chance to because my screen time would be down today because I was so busy packing. But yeah, not every day is like this, but these are little things that I think about. I'm like, fuck, I've got to make sure I get onto them first thing tomorrow. But it's the nature of it, and I don't mind. Like, it's luxury for me to be able to have like freedom, and sometimes that means that I work on weekends. I work a little bit on most weekends, but I have a much better balance now that I did end up quitting my full-time job, which is wild because it will be 1 year come the end of August, which is just insane. 1 year of working for myself. Crazy times. Anyway, guys, I love you. Thank you for your support. Thank you if you submitted a question. Sorry if I didn't get to it. There were quite a few. I think I put up the question box on a day that I was like traveling for work as well, so that probably prompted more. But I love you guys. I will do this again. The next video will probably be either like a food one, a skincare one, or a makeup one. I'll poll you guys in the broadcast channel for the YouTube channel. Please subscribe. Finish off my heart. Send me a heart. I love you. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. Take care of yourself, and I will see you next time. Bye.